Hey, welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I'm going to go over just a few ways to maintain your indoor crawler course once you build it. You know, over time, once you build your indoor crawler course, from driving several crawlers over it many times a day, you're going to have some wear and tear, scratches, paint blemishes, etc. And you need to repair those items just to keep your course looking the way you originally created it. If you haven't seen my original video on how to build your own indoor crawler course step by step, I'll link that at the end of this video so you can just click on it and watch it. So definitely check that out. It's a great detailed step-by-step video on how to do that. One of the main things that I think you need on the course to fully protect it is this Minwax polyacrylic. It's a water-based coating that's clear, and if you get the clear matte, it doesn't add a shiny look to your course. It still looks natural. You don't want to get the gloss version because it'll, it won't look like real mountains because it'll be too shiny and glossy. Basically, you put about 10 coats of that on your course, and it's really going to be very hard to scratch that surface. I've coated all the stones, the mountains on the course with that polyacrylic with about 10 coats, and it's very hard to scratch this. After hundreds of drives on the course with many different crawlers, it's very hard to scratch that. These stones here were made from plaster cloth, and the plaster cloth, once coated with Minwax, is very resilient and very hard to scratch. But you see these areas of the course that I used just the spray foam on. I coated that also with the polyacrylic, but still you have some areas here that the crawlers are gonna rip over time from constant use. To solve that issue, I just use these Amazon permanent markers that comes with about 30 different colors. You can see right here we have these two areas that have been worn down. So basically just take the gray permanent marker here and fill that in. And now it looks pretty unnoticeable that those areas have been scratched off. Another thing that you can do with permanent markers is kind of add door lines on your crawlers like you see here. Basically just kind of draw it in very carefully because it is permanent, and then before it's dry just kind of smear it a little bit with a napkin, and you can get kind of a realistic door look right there. You can also see that I have a lot of plant moss added around the course to make it look more realistic with plants, etc. And occasionally from heavy use, some of the moss occasionally comes off, so you'll have to re-glue gun those areas down. And it's very simple. Just take a glue gun and just reattach those. And even in some of these areas right here, just have a spare bag available so that you can just add moss to any new areas that you'd like. Even some of the areas like right here that's been worn down that I just painted with the marker, if you wanted, you could just add a piece of moss there with a glue gun just to add a more realistic plant look right there and cover up the blemish that was there. Just remember that the glue gun is hot, so don't just press the moss down with your hand. Use something like a small tweezers or something like that. So you just glue that area with the glue gun. Take the moss, some tweezers, and just glue that piece of moss there. There you go. Over here in my bridge, this one bridge post is coming loose. So I'll just grab the glue gun, reattach that. Hold it for a few seconds, let it get until it gets dry. And there you go. Also, occasionally, a couple of my forest animals here fall down. For the most part, they stay up really good. But you will have to re-glue gun their feet here. Hold it there until it dries. Also, when I first made this and I created my mountains out of plastic cloth, on the areas that will be heavily trafficked on the course, like here, where you're doing a lot of climbing, you're gonna put down some sand. Basically, I use this sand that's $3.99 from Hobby Lobby, and you just sprinkle that around on there. Just spray it with glue first, sprinkle it on, let it dry, and then you will paint over that and then put the 10 coats of polyacrylic on top, and it just adds a rough surface for your tires to grab onto. That's very important when building one of these courses, is to make sure you have a rough texture like real rocks out in the open on the areas that you're building mountains that'll be heavily climbed by your crawler tires. So as you can see, the course, after almost a year of being completed and being driven on hundreds of times, looks still very amazing. You just have to, like with anything, keep it up and make sure everything is up to par. Because this definitely did come out to be a very nice showpiece in my office for when people come over, you can just kind of hang out and drive on the course. Alright guys, I hope you really enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them in the comment section.